Hey all, new Switch games are on sale, and in this video we check out some of them. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give a thumbs up. Let's go! So let's start with Hades, a game with a 50% discount. This can be described as a replayable roguelike with a captivating story. You use mythical weapons to take on a diverse host of enemies while exploring the magnificent underworld. Hades has received very good reviews, with many considering this to be one of the better roguelikes on the market. Above all, we are talking about a well-written narrative, in combination with good music, a nice visual style and a gameplay that offers a flexible but smooth combat system. If you haven't tried Hades, it is my recommendation to do so, especially if you appreciate roguelikes, and right now the game is on sale with a 50% discount. And now for a game with an extremely long title. DORAEMON Story of Seasons Friends of the Great Kingdom Special Edition. Yeah, I have never played this game, and if you are deep into this, then feel free to comment below. And please tell us what this is about. Is this a good game? I have no idea. But I know what it contains. In addition to the base game itself, you get a season pass that includes some outfits, some furniture and some new stories. You also get new crops and a new seed set with veggies. So without a doubt, this is a game that puts a lot of emphasis on farming. It looks cute, the environments are colorful and the characters have big Disney eyes. Overall, I think it looks quite charming. But the question is whether it's worth buying. At least it's sold with a good discount, 60% off. Right now there is a sale on a lot of Final Fantasy games. Both the Zodiac Age and 10 are being sold at generous discounts. Also Final Fantasy 1 to 6 is 20% off. I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that this game series had a huge impact on the RPG genre. It feels like most Final Fantasy games become timeless classics. And given that there are so many games to choose from, everyone can find their own favorite. Personally, I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy VI, which was launched for the Super Nintendo. This is, in my opinion, a masterpiece worth coming back to. But whether we are talking about the really old fantasy games or the latest titles, the catalog is extensive. So considering that many of these titles are on sale, it might be a good time if you want to expand your collection. PAC-MAN is perhaps one of the most famous video game characters, playing in the same league as Mario, Link and Sonic. And considering that PAC-MAN was launched more than 40 years ago, this figure has certainly had plenty of time to establish itself. But now much later we can play PAC-MAN in a completely new way. In PAC-MAN World we explore a three-dimensional world where the aim is to save PAC-MAN's family. The game, which is basically a cute platformer, can be seen as a modern classic. The original is about 25 years old and got generally good reviews back then. The Switch version is actually a remake of this game, and now it's being sold at a discount in Nintendo's Eshop, 67% off the usual price. So maybe this could be an interesting purchase if you like PAC-MAN. If we talk nostalgia, then we can put all the light on Secret of Mana. The game was released more than 30 years ago and has reached a cult status. A couple of years ago, a collection was launched with some of the most classic Mana games. In addition to Secret of Mana, the collection also contained Trials of Mana and the Game Boy game Mystic Quest. And now Square Enix is selling this collection with a relatively generous price tag, 50% off. It's worth mentioning that Mystic Quest was probably one of the better and more comprehensive games released for the Game Boy. A game containing lots of puzzle-like dungeons, enemies, bosses, weapons and armor, as well as an engaging and somewhat dramatic story. So this diverse collection of games can definitely be worth a purchase if you appreciate older but entertaining RPGs. Metro Redux is now on sale with an 85% discount. This game can be described as a story-driven FPS set in a dystopian Moscow. This edition contains both Metro 2033 and Metro Last Night, and perhaps this is the ultimate version of those who enjoy this game series. Just a little warning, the game requires almost 13 GB, so make sure you have enough free space. The game offers a couple of campaigns, a few different game styles called Spartan and Survival. In addition, there is bonus content that extends the gaming experience. So overall, this is a pretty meaty version. You get a lot of gaming for relatively little money. Metro Redux currently costs less than $5. Tactics Ogre Reborn is a tactical RPG based on the 2010 release. The game has received a good price cut and is now on sale with a 50% discount. What is worth pointing out is that your decisions affect the progression of the story. There are multiple paths to choose from, and you can even experience multiple endings. So for those who appreciate games with replay value, Tactics Ogre Reborn could be a good option, assuming you're a fan of tactical RPGs. It is also possible to combine a multitude of classes, armors and skills, so it's a relatively complex game if you want to master it to the fullest. 50% off in the eShop, a good deal in my opinion. One game that is not available for the Nintendo Switch is Diablo 4, but fans of the series can pick up Diablo 3 at a relatively reasonable price, mainly in Europe and Australia. Diablo 3 is certainly a game that has received harsh criticism over the years, and unfortunately it never became the sequel that many had hoped for. But having played the game myself on the Nintendo Switch, I still think it's an adventure that is both extensive and relatively complex. There are still a few different classes to master. The game contains tons of items to make your character stronger, and you make your way through a world that offers many challenges. And the version we are talking about works relatively well on the Switch, with an overall acceptable frame rate and graphics that look surprisingly good for being on the handheld console. This could be an option for those who want to experience Diablo in a different way. 67% off in the eShop, so a pretty good deal actually. Then we have Red, a roguelike set in a post-apocalyptic world. You play a young protagonist who must fight his way through a radioactive wasteland. Red offers a real challenge as you are confronted with tough enemies and opponents, all seen from an isometric perspective. The game has received some criticism, partly because some see it as monotonous and that it's a fairly short game that can be completed relatively quickly. But reviews are mixed, as others say that Red is a rewarding and intense roguelike that really challenges the player. If you want to buy Red, it has received a good price reduction, 75% off in the eShop. So, there we had a number of titles that have relatively good discounts. What did you think? Are these games worth buying? Feel free to comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give a thumbs up. Have a good day. See ya!